Hello friends, the topic is the unified process. Unified process is a framework for OO models. This model is also called Rational Unified Process RUP model. It is proposed by these three scientists, Ivar Jacobson, Grady Booch, James Rombaugh. This model is iterative and incremental in nature. This is important point that model is iterative in nature and incremental in nature. There are 5 phases of uniform process model. First one is inception, second elaboration, third construction, fourth transition, and fifth production. These 5 phases plays main important role in uniform process model. This is unified process. Here all the phases are plays an important role in a step-by-step manner. First one is communication, then planning, third modeling, construction, and deployment. In the communication and planning, there is an inception between these two phases, and in the planning and modeling, there is an elaboration. Like this, in between construction and deployment phase, there is a transition between these two phases where finally the release of software product is given to the customer or the user. These are the phases. First one is inception. In this phase, communication and planning is done. The steps in this inception phase are first customer communication. That means in the first phase inception, the first step is customer communication. By communicating with the customer, the requirements are gathered. Next one, identify the requirements. In this step, among all the requirements, some requirements which are used for the software development process is identified. Third one is rough architecture of the system is proposed. Next step is plan for the project. That means we are using the use cases are created. That means by using the use case diagram, user scenario, sequence of actions, use cases, by using these diagrams or these forms, we are planned for the project, which helps to identify the scope of the project. Second phase is elaboration. In this phase, planning and modeling is done. That means overall software projects planning and modeling is done in this elaboration phase, where use cases are redefined. That means architectural representation is created using 5 models. First one is use case model, second analysis model, third design model, fourth implementation model, and deployment model. These 5 models are used to architectural representation. Thus, executable baseline gets created. Then a plan is created to check whether scope, risk, and delivery dates are reasonable. Friends, the third phase is construction. In this construction phase, the main activity is to make the use case operational. That means the analysis and design is done a source code is developed. That means in the construction phase, we are developing a source code which implements all desired functionalities. Then unit testing is conducted and acceptance testing is carried out on the use cases. Fourth one is transition. In this phase, the activities required at the time of deployment are carried out. That means it is this in the transition phase, activities which are required for the deployments, that activities are carried out. Beta testing is conducted in this transition phase, where when software is delivered to end user, user feedback report is used. That means when we deliver the software to the end user, at the time we are taking feedback from the user, and suppose there is any defects occurred in the feedback given by end user or customer, then to remove the defects from the created system, then we have to remove that defect from the system. Finally, software team prepares all manuals, installation guides and troubleshooting procedures. This makes the software more usable at the time of release. Fifth is production. This is the final phase of this model. In this phase, mainly the maintenance activities are conducted to support the user in operational environment. Friends, here are various work products that may get generated in every phase are as given below. That means these are phases: inception, elaboration, construction, transition. In that initial use case model, in the inception, initial use case model, initial risk assessment project plan, in elaboration use case model, requirement analysis model, architectural model, preliminary design model, risk list, iterative project plan, preliminary user manual. In the construction design model, software components, test plan, test case, user manual, installation manual. In the transition, delivered software increments, beta test reports, user feedback report. These are the phases. Thank you.